Okay, so we'll get started with our meditation program. Welcome, everybody. My name's Elizabeth Malafi from the library. Amy is here to center us this morning. I want to remind everybody to, if they have any questions, they can use the chat. Just make sure that you pick all panelists and attendees. And I'm going to let Amy take it away. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Namaste. Just to clarify the meaning of namaste, it's not just, it's typically translated as the light in me honors the light in you, but it's also the light in me, the dark in me, the fear in me, the courageous in me, honors all that within you as well, that we're all feeling similar dualities right now. And namaste means I honor all of that which is yet to become, which is already there, all the light, all the dark. So namaste. Welcome to my yoga room. Just take a comfortable seat. And we're going to go through I'll explain meditation. It's really more of, you have to experience it to really know it. I'll explain how we approach it, and hopefully you can take away from this experience some tools that can help to ground you, center you, and keep you calm, especially throughout this time that we're not able to be personally together. So taking a comfortable seat is the first instruction. So you can sit on the floor. As you can see, I'm sitting on a little pillow here. You could also use a chair. If you're using a chair, that's perfectly fine. Just have your feet grounded on the floor and your knees over your ankles, sitting up nice and tall with presence, coming into that seat of intention. And then you could just relax your hands on your thighs for a moment. We'll take a brief centering, and then I'll go into the explanation and the lecture part of class. So just finding your sit bones, if you're sitting on a chair or the floor, lengthening your spine. So notice how the spine, as the spine lengthens, your heart, your chest begins to open, and you could breathe a little deeper. Breathing in all the way up and breathing out all the way down with a gentle contraction of the navel. Breathing in all the way up like you're filling a nice glass of water, nice and slow. And exhale all the way out, breathing in and out through the nose as much as possible. Do that one more time. Deep breath in. And a nice long breath out. Pause. Just become still for a moment. Then turning the palms up. Bring your hands to heart center. Drop your chin. Acknowledge that sacred part of yourself that's eager to learn, that's open to learning, that knows that we're all learners in this lifetime, and that every time you step on your meditation cushion or chair, you are a beginner, as I am. Release your palms, relax, just open your eyes. Welcome. I have found that meditation in my life it creates this calm center. And it actually, what's so interesting about meditation, it's not this something that other people know how to do and maybe you don't know how to do, because every time I sit on my mat, something else comes up. Sometimes my mind is so busy, the whole time I'm sitting is just a myriad of, oh my gosh, my mind is crazy, come back, come back, come back. But I stay seated. And by the time I leave my cushion, even if my mind was crazy, for some reason, my day flows a little more um, in a nicer way. I'm able to be a little more patient. I'm able to notice the craziness in my mind when my mind is going somewhere that it shouldn't. And I'm able to harness the thoughts and bring them back. So demystifying meditation. It's an ancient art of contemplation that's been done throughout the ages. Learning to calm the mind, creating space between our reactions and our actions helps us to be in the world that's aligned with our inner values. So it's a lesson in impulse control, self-control. We work on creating that inner equanimity so that we can act from a place of calm abiding, wisdom, and love. And that's how we always want to react to things, but that doesn't always happen. So meditation in itself helps us with that impulse control. It helps us remember that we're in the present moment and that we can have a felt experience of being in the present moment, if that makes sense. So a lot of people will say, well, I don't have time for meditation. It's too difficult. If you think about, and my teacher just gave this analogy the other day. If you think about someone who is a tree cutter, right? And he has an axe and he goes out to the woods and he's chopping a tree. If he didn't take the time to sharpen his axe, it's going to take him 4 times as long to cut down the same tree. So if he took the time to sharpen that axe, he's going to have less frustration. He's going to be able to get his job done faster and more efficiently and calmer. So it's the same thing with meditation. If we think about taking that time to sharpen the tools of our mind is very powerful. If we take the time to sharpen, to clear, to release the clutter, then we can go out there and we can complete our tasks. We could be more loving, we could be more attentive, we could be more present in all of our activities, whether it's talking to a loved one, whether it's washing the dishes, which probably we're doing a lot of spending time in the kitchen these days, cooking and caring for people and taking care of your home, and just to be more attentive, more present. Because our mind, especially when stresses come like right now, our mind begins to go into the future and we can create this anxiety. So what I'm hoping you feel with this series is that when we're able to really be in the present moment, we know that we can be there without pushing away, without wanting things to be different, without changing things, without trying to fix things in that moment. Because the fact is, when we're in our minds and we're fearful of the future and we're thinking about what if this happens, there's no resolution because that's not happening. When things happen and they're right in front of us, we find a way, we deal with them. So when things are just abstract and in our imagination, we can't deal with that. It creates more and more anxiety because we can't resolve them. So I hope that makes sense for you. So we're going to do a couple brief meditations. We'll start right now with a breath meditation and we'll go for, maybe 3-4 minutes. Then we'll break, we'll talk a little bit more, and then we'll take a little bit longer meditation. So just find that comfortable seat. And just reminding you of some of the benefits of meditation, besides just calming the mind, it increases prana. So prana is your life force, your chi. Because when you're relaxed, your life force can build. You can create that immune system that can fight off impurities. Of course, it reduces stress and anxiety. It improves brain function, memory. It improves sleep. It's been known to lower blood pressure because you create a calm environment. It allows your breath and lungs to expand. And emotionally and spiritually, it encourages our mind to become more sensitive to what truly matters. And that's a big one for me. It helps you to release deep fears, regrets, some emotional baggage as you're going deep into your mind, you're noticing patterns. Um, it nurtures creativity. So when the mind is clear, you can tap into that creative mind, those places that kind of get bogged down with fears and anxiety, too much thinking. Um, and it connects us to our higher self. So we have a higher brain and then we have a lower brain, and we can all know what that feels like, right? We have a lower brain that wants to react, that gets jealous, that gets fearful, that gets crazy, that gets really angry and acts out of anger. And then we have the higher self that reminds us that, you know, we can be a different way. We can approach situations with calm, abiding, wisdom, and love. And it also increases patience and unselfishness. It moves us out of the egocentric, everything is about me. We begin to tap into that larger consciousness, especially right now. We do meditation, we do yoga practice, not just for ourselves. We clear ourselves so we can go out there and be of service to others, even if it's just the ones we're cohabitating with right now, or the people you talk on the phone or the screen. If we present a calm presence, we can spread that around. So that's really what all of these practices are, is to help us be the best we can be so we can go out there and serve others. So just relax your hands. If it's comfortable for you, you can close your eyes or just let your eyelids become soft. And begin to just have a felt experience of your body in the shape that it's in right now. Begin to scan and feel your legs. They're crossed or planted on the floor. Feel your sit bones and your pelvis, belly, chest, arms, hands, shoulders, neck, head, and facial muscles. Really tap into the feeling tone of your physical body. And then begin connecting to the breath. The breath is the direct link between the physical and the spiritual essence of your body. Keep the breath light and allow it to keep flowing. This breath is always with you. This breath signifies that you are alive and present. And you're tuning in today, which means you're healthy, you're safe. And you can give yourself permission to be here now in this state, just sitting, just breathing, just beginning to notice what comes up when the distractions dissipate. When there's no phone, there's no television, just you sitting, having an experience of your body as it sits in stillness and breathes. Simply breathing. One of the first foundations of meditation is to recognize when you're sitting, know that you're sitting. And as you're breathing, know that you're breathing. When the mind starts conjuring up images, or patterns and waves of thought. Notice if you've forgotten the felt experience of sitting. Come back to the feeling tone of your body, sitting in stillness and the breath flowing through. If tension arises, or irritability arises, or impatience arises, just take a look at it. This is what impatience or irritability feels like. And you can allow it to pass through you. Come back to the breath. Allowing the feeling of stillness to be your primary focus. Let's just take another minute here, knowing that if you have to bring your mind back 1,000 times in a 5-minute meditation, that's the practice. Notice the moment that you realize you've forgotten you're sitting, you've forgotten to focus on the breath. And notice the transition back to being present. We begin to notice the feeling tone when the mind goes into its ravenous thinking, and the feeling tone when you've noticed and you've transitioned back to your breath, to your body, to stillness. Gently open your eyes, stretch a little bit. So just listen to these words. How can meditation help us in our lives? Take time to slow down the fast pace of life. Take time to step out of the craziness. Sit still for a minute or 3 or 20. Become aware of your thoughts and emotions, of how you're feeling about the events that lie ahead or pass behind. Realize that we have actually little control except of our own actions and thoughts. When we stop and become aware, we are more likely to act from that place of wisdom, compassion, and love, instead of fear and confusion. As we learn to be the witness of our own thoughts and emotional patterns, we realize we don't have to own them, that we can allow these thoughts to pass through like clouds on a clear sky. This allows us to see things from new perspectives, and we can free ourselves from past conditioning. It reminds us that we're never really stuck, that we have the power to freely flow through the river of our lives, steering ourselves in the right direction with clarity, vision, and peace. So meditation, it really is about quieting the everyday chatter. There's always somebody talking with you. I have a little voice in my head, and I'm sure you do too. You're talking to yourself constantly throughout the day, whatever it is. Okay, I need to go, do my computer work now. I need to go empty the garbage, and maybe I should do that. And if you ever find yourself like starting one project and then you're in the next project and then you're doing something else. And, you know, the mind is just driving your every move. So meditation helps us to become the observer of our thoughts. We're observing. Okay, I'm thinking about this right now. And it's taking me to a place I really don't want to go. Let me harness my thoughts right here. And what do I want to do? Do I want to stop? Do I want to act from a place of fidgety, fearful thoughts, or do I want to act from a place of calm? These constant stream of thoughts that we have, a lot of them are driven by what we call in Sanskrit samskaras. They're these little grooves that are in our mind, these unconscious habits that we have, that some habits are good and we can create new habits, but a lot of our habits are coming from a negative place, that we're just a knee-jerk reaction, that we're not noticing what we're doing, and it's creating angst and anxiety. So meditation, it really helps clear those grooves so you can begin to open up and start creating new grooves, new patterns that are more serving to you and others. You know, the power, it's you know, in recent years, it's really come to the forefront, the power of the body connection to the mind. So what we create in the mind has a direct effect on our physical body. You can, it's known that if you sit in meditation and you can imagine, I used to do this with my son when he was nervous starting high school. You could have a visualization of yourself walking through, I used to tell him, walk through the hallways in your mind, see yourself as confident, secure, happy, feeling wanted, feeling happy to be there, that you're welcome there, that you belong there, see that, feel it, feel yourself competent. And we used to walk through this meditation, and his body began to believe and harness that energy so that he did walk through those halls confidently. And it's been known that athletes do this all the time. They will meditate and see themselves achieving their goal, whatever that is, you know, moving into a game or a race or something, and they will meditate and see them, visualize themselves going through this, and their body begins to believe it. So we can really train the mind to train the body. But the key here is practice. So nothing comes easy. If you see anybody who is adept at anything, it's because they have spent myriad of hours doing it. You might not have seen that, but it takes a lot of effort to be adept at something. And the same thing with meditation. If you create a goal, even if you, I find, especially when I first started meditating, setting a timer. Maybe you can only do 1 minute a day, 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes. Set the timer, set your scene, you know, take a seat, honor that time, and create that schedule so that you can find the rhythm of sitting, maybe every day, maybe 3 times a week, whatever is your goal, try and stick with it. I love the story of Joe DiMaggio, right? So he was an amazing hitter, and people just thought, my God, you could hit that ball. You're amazing. It's a natural talent. He said, okay, tell me it's a natural talent if you come in my basement and you look at all the marks on the wall. There was like 1 million marks on a wall where he would practice with a ball on a string. So that's how he got good at hitting. He was practicing. He was enthusiastic about learning this new tool. And the same thing goes for meditation. It just demands patience and practice. And you will find when you start experiencing the benefits in your day, your meditation cushion or chair will call you. So there's a quote I love from Buddha, and then we're going to do another meditation. Buddha was asked, what have you gained from meditation? And he replied, nothing. However, Buddha said, let me tell you what I lost. I lost anger, anxiety, depression, insecurity, fear of old age and death. So this is what he said he lost. Because when you come into the present moment, you're able to feel your life. You're able to be present in your life. You're not moving here or there, especially right now where, I'm going through my days between, getting fearful and then feeling happy to be home and then feeling loving towards my family and then feeling like I want to, choke them for leaving all the dishes in the sink. So we're all going through all different things right now. So I find my practice is the most important now than it's ever been. So it's important to find a space where you can feel secluded, even if it's a corner of your bedroom. When we meet maybe next week, maybe you can find that space and set up a little, just maybe a candle or something, a picture of someone that brings peace to you, or just that could be a small little area that when you go there, this is your sacred space. So let's come into another meditation. There's many different ways to meditate. It's all about focusing the mind. So I'm going to take you on a little visualization for this meditation. So just take a deep breath in, excuse me, and a long breath out. And again, come into a seat that feels comfortable, and you can feel free to change your position. There's many different ways to sit. I happen to have this little meditation stand, but you could use blocks. The main thing is when you're sitting for meditation, you want your spine to be nice and long and your chest to be open. I don't know if my head is blocked off, but we'll see. So relax your hands. Either close your eyes or soften your gaze. And just begin again, settling into the body. Settling into the breath. So when we're sitting and breathing, we don't have to change the breath. We don't have to make it better. We just have to be with it as it is. And then just begin to picture yourself on your favorite beach. Feeling the ground underneath you, the warm sand. Glimpsing at the water, the open, clear water in front of you, and the beautiful blue sky. The sun is shining and it's a perfect temperature. You're completely alone and you feel safe, secure, and happy. Bring as much detail to this creative visualization as you can. Feel the air, the temperature, the sand, hear the water, smell the salt air. Really bring yourself there as if you're looking from above. See yourself sitting, staring out at the beautiful water. And then all of a sudden, a big, noisy speedboat comes driving right in front of you on the water. And that speedboat is a metaphor for the thought that's coming in. So whatever you're thinking about is on that boat. See it and name it. So if a thought comes in and you're thinking, when is this meditation going to end? Or what am I going to make for dinner? Or my body hurts. Whatever it is, name it, create a name for that boat, see it, and then allow it to pass through your harbor. Allow it to go, and then the water becomes clear again. Noticing what boats come up. See the boat, name it for what it is, and then bring yourself back onto the beach. Come back to the feeling of safety, of peace, of relaxation, open water and open sky. And then as that next boat comes in, see yourself on the boat. You've left the beach again. Before that boat gets too far and too deep, you see yourself coming back and sitting on your place on the beach. Begin to notice if the same boats show up. One of my boats that consistently show up is planning my events and yoga classes. So I see that coming up. I see my mind has gone. I name the boat. I'm planning again. Amy, come back to the beach. Once you get back to the beach, again, feel the air, feel the sun, feel the grounding energy of the earth, and remind yourself right now you're safe, you're not there, you're here. Having a felt experience of being in your body, breathing, safe, still, giving yourself permission to feel happy. And as you're guiding yourself back, we notice the mind has gotten on a boat, but you're calling it back with a gentle hand. You're saying, I know that you've left the beach. It's time to come back, like you're calling a small child in from play. With a gentle but firm hand. Saying, now is the time to guide myself back. So my mind can become steady. So my body can become calm. So I can experience myself in this calm state of stillness. Just one more minute here. Just noticing. Just being present. Just being patient with yourself. Your water might be filled with a million boats right now, but you could bring yourself back to the beach and see it as a witness. So that when you move out of this meditation, you might notice when the mind has drifted away from the present. Slowly open your eyes, take a deep breath in and a long breath out. So the purpose of this series is so that you can take this and become your own teacher. So you could take these tools and become your own guide. That is the purpose of a teacher in any form, is to teach you so you can go out there and teach yourself. So let's bring our hands to our hearts again. Dropping your chin to your chest, acknowledge your efforts. So one of the sacred texts of yoga called the Upanishads remind us that any effort on our path is never wasted. So whether it's a minute, 2 minutes, 15 minutes, it doesn't matter. Any effort on this path is never wasted. I honor the divine in you. I honor the fearful parts of you. I honor the vulnerable and I honor the courageous. Remembering that we're all super connected, even though we're apart right now. I will leave it to the facilitators here. If anyone has any questions they would like to throw out to me or comments, if you've had any experiences today with meditation and you want to mention anything to me, you can certainly do that now. Next week, we will have a PowerPoint mailed to you so you can follow along and you can take some of this with you. Oh, is there somebody talking? Is there any questions from anyone?
Hey, Amy, this is Elizabeth from the library. That's actually talk. Oh, wait, somebody's raising their hand. Doug, if you have a question, you could type it in the chat box. Yes, same link for next week, Doug.
What do you say?
Said thank you. This was wonderful.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
How
about you facilitators? Did you experience anything?
I loved it. And I have my back door open and it's raining. And so that sound really helped with everything as well.
Definitely makes you feel safe and cozy.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much, Amy. I'm looking forward to next week. I think we all are. And I hope to see everybody back here same time next Thursday.
Okay, great. Thank you. Namaste. Have a great day. Stay safe.
Thank you.
Take care. I'll see you next week.